Right then guys, come back into the shed today. Finally finished organising in here. Bit of a change around. Going to be a wrenching video today, but thought we'd give you a quick overview of what the shed / workshop is looking like. Check him out. So guys, we've set up a battery storage area and charging station in here. So I'm not doing anything in the house anymore. We'll drill through the back of these boxes, paint them up to match in the black, just because all the sockets are behind. So guys, I've hung up the ramp so he's out of the way, give us a bit more room in here. The cars are now all hanging on the wall. You can meet Dexter. Here's my little buddy. He's going to be in here tonight while I'm working. So we've got the custom 6S buggy, the VRX-2E, the Rolalo X12S, the Vantage 70-mile-an-hour project. Just running a 3S system I put in there. Got the mini UDR, great little bit of fun if you've got a bit of tarmac or a very small gravel track. The crawler, the TRX4 clone. Got the XRT running the 1100 kV motor and the Hobby Wing Max 6. The X-Max on the paddle tyres at the moment. Will be a video coming out of him crossing a river and some sand dunes bashing. Basically stock, other than a couple of upgrades of GMM bash bar and servo mounts. Then got the Centon, bought off a friend of ours, Glyn. Literally that's just stock. The Aviro 2.0, just done a rebuild on the chassis on him, and that's running the stock motor but with a Max 8 G2S ESC. Absolutely awesome. That is my first big truck and still love it today. Up on the shelf then we've got some drones that were donated to us from Miles123RC. Little mini helicopter, first attempt at flying on a previous video. Check it out, really enjoyed it. Tools, oils, spare tyres, all on the shelves. Another boat that was donated by Miles123RC. Still haven't tested him out yet. Got the 4S, I think it was the UDI Colossus or something like that. I'll have to check him out. But awesome little boat that I traded in for one of the buggies that we had. Then we got some Tamiya projects, Tamiya pre-runner. Still got the old logos for the channel when it was RomBombRC and Jeff was involved. Just a Subaru Tamiya. I put a 3S system in there and some slick tyres on there as a drift car. Mini crawler. Got these mini buggies to review. Originally bought them for me and Jeff to play in the garden, but that never worked out. And got the Utah mini crawler 1/8 scale after Kev's recommendation that it was the best mini crawler that you can buy, and I've done a video on that. Check that one out too. Right, so first of the wrenching tonight is going to be the LMT 2.0. Broke a rear hub on him and a rod end that needs to be replaced, and lost a dog end bone when I broke the rear hub, so that's going in there. And I did damage one of the lights, so we'll have a attempt at doing some soldering, get the lights back up and running too. So I'm going to switch over now to another camera and we'll get some wrenching done. Right then guys, we shall start by removing the part of the damaged hub that's still on the LMT. Great little tool, these guys. I'll stick a link in the description where I got them from off AliExpress, but they've been awesome for the price. Absolute bargain. Titanium tipped so they shouldn't round easily, save you bolts and make life a bit easier for everything that we're going to have to do tonight too. may actually switch over to the electric screwdriver and the other titanium bits that I've got for that, because everything will be a lot quicker. So a lot quicker with these. Again, got these tips off AliExpress. Again, cheap and cheerful, but they do the job, and for the price of them you really can't complain with what you're getting. This screw's bent, so we'll have to replace that. But we got plenty of spares. And this one, it feels like the end is bent over from where I should have stopped running it after the wheel had come off and it was on the solid ground. So this is going to be a bit of a pain in the ass to get out, so we're just going to have to twist with a pair of pliers as the head is bent over, so you can't fit the Allen key in there to get him out. So anyway guys, it's a bit of a new concept for me. I don't generally do a lot of talking on the channel, just more of just showing you the bashing side of it. And again, never feel comfortable on camera, but we're going to try a bit more, be a bit more interactive with you all. Obviously we've sorted the shed out now, so we can do more in here, get back to doing some unboxings. So as I mentioned, we've had a change around and the channel name change. So originally set the channel up in January, back when I was with my ex-girlfriend, for her son, as I used to call him, Jeff, and it was RomBombRC that I'd set up for him. So that was the original concept of the channel. It was just so me and him could bond over something we both enjoyed, was RCs. Obviously me and his mother are no longer seeing each other, so it was just a little bit depressing having the RomBombRC logo everywhere, knowing the memories that we've made. So I changed the channel name, yep, and again I've called it BrokenRC because at the end of the day that's how it felt after everything was over. So we'll keep it as that. I'm happy with it. The logo looks quite cool, different change, and it's got the double meaning because it is BrokenRC all the time with me. Just literally end up smashing everything up. But yeah, if you want to see the old videos from RomBombRC, I've done a playlist and a little dedication to Jeff and his mother, as we used to call her, Bad Bitch, or Modge as she wanted to be referenced to, as mother of Jeff. So check out the playlist guys, it's in there. And that was all the old stuff that we originally set the channel up for me spending time with Jeff and a little bit of bonding. So now the channel is literally just me and hanging out with my mates, Miles123RC. Recently met some new friends with Chris with a CRC, great guy. First time I met him, felt I'd known him for years, didn't stop chatting. Check out his channel guys, links in the description. Met RomRC up in Reading on his bash spot for the Rebel Base as they call it, where they film Star Wars, so check out his channel too. And we had Rut Rider that I met up there too, great guy. And RC, Phil from there, another great guy guys, so check out their stuff on YouTube or Facebook. I'll put the links in the descriptions. So trying to get these cars ready for a 10BRC event down in Heatherton, like adventure playground it is down there. They've given over half of the overflow car park to us, and the guy from 10BRC down there, he's doing all this event, does it all for free. I think it's like his third or fourth event. Seen a couple of them before, wish we could have gone, didn't be able to make it, but this time, Saturday the 20th of September, the event's on, and we're definitely going down. Hopefully the weather holds out and we got a dry day down there. So this one has been an absolute pain in the ass, guys. So that's because it's rounded over the top where it's ground on the floor. I've got to get it out this way. Finally. Right, that's out. So when you buy the LMT, they do give you spares. So they obviously knew it was an issue. So I'll be using one of the spares on there, and we'll get this back on here, and fingers crossed he fits, because he don't seem to be going on there. There we go. As I said, going to need to get a couple of the spares out. Should have really prepped on this beforehand. So, but they look like they're only a 2.5mm. Yeah, and I've got some spares here. Let's check the length of them. There we go, that'll be perfect. 2 new ones, use 2 of the old ones. And before we do that, better put the Dogbone that I lost when we were doing this back in. And again, guys, I know they say it on everyone's video, but if you are using electric, do the last bit up by hand so you don't risk rounding your bolts or damaging the thread in the plastic. Like I said, finish off with a hand tool just to finish tightening, just so you don't damage the heads, round them off, or damage the thread in the plastic with too much force. Personally, I don't think you do a lot with that screwdriver I got because it hasn't got a lot of torque in there, but again, always recommend just finishing it off, making sure it's tight with the hand tools in the end. That's that part done. While we got him upside down, did break a rod end. Now originally comes with plastic. I did upgrade the center ones to these, just a cheap metal one, but I still broke one of those when we were out. Definitely a design flaw on these trucks. I think the weight all being in the center, and I do think there's too much travel in the shocks, which causes too much flex then here, and then it ends up damaging the rod end. So the plastic ones broke multiple times. Put these metal ones on, and again I've broken a metal one too. So I have got on order the GPM lower arms for this, and I've got some other GPM metal bits for hubs, spindle carriers, C-hubs for the front as well. So once everything has arrived, we'll do another video with doing the upgrades on there, but at the moment we're just going to do just this cheapy little alternative to the plastic, if it wants to go on, because it really doesn't want to fucking go on there. Probably a crappy thread on these cheapos from AliExpress, but they do the job. But like I said, they're only a temporary fix for now. Okay guys, this really don't want to go on. I just worked out why. These are the larger ones, these are the smaller ones, and I need the other set. Right guys, I had to stop and start the video because I was using the wrong ends, that's why they weren't fitting. These are the spares I had in my bag from ready for having a wrench when we were out bashing, but as I wrecked the hub as well, didn't do any repairs at the time. So now we got the bigger ones. We should be able to just put this on, do him up, and hopefully it'll do his job as a temporary fix for the time being. Take that one out. It felt a bit rounded when I used the manual wrench on there, so I'm going to change that out for one that I've got. We got a long enough one to go in there. That's better. So as I said, these are just going to be temporary until I get the GPM ones that I've ordered, so should be here in another week, and we'll upgrade it, and hopefully this truck will be as good as I think it's going to be. So that's the main part done there. Now we just need to get this wheel off, and fingers crossed once this is off we can get it all remounted and everything will be working again. Why is this not fitting? Strange one. Was the wrong size. We'll take this grub screw out quickly. So we can get this broken part off. And I've just realised that needs to go on what I've already put on. So bear with me while I retake these back off. But I didn't work it out before I went there. So again, should have taken the time to look at what I was doing. Would have saved a bit of time having to redo this, but we'll have it all done now. So off the old one, we need the bearing. Stick the bearing on, and then stick that drive shaft hub on there. Line him up. Try and get him back on again. There we go. He's all lined up. So apologies if you can hear all that wind, but it's terrible weather here in Wales, and it is about 8:30, 8:45 at the moment. I'm working in the shed to get these done ready for Tenby. So that's done. Let's get that hex back on there. Try and find the bloody hole for it to go back through. Which I think is going to be a bit of a pain. Yeah, just needs to be pulled through a little bit. A bit stiff. There we go. Let's get him back on. Now you may have seen when I started this video, where you have a new radio link receiver here, so that will be going on the majority of my trucks. This one won't be, just because if you want to use all the settings on this LMT2 with the smart the Spectrum smart receiver and controls, you're not going to be able to change the receiver over. But we'll see how it goes, just because generally I use it in unlimited mode anyway, rather than in the wheelie mode and the freestyle mode. So we shall see how we end up running this. If I'm never going to use the other ones, then I probably won't do any changes to it. Like, Right, I finally think that's lined up. There we go. Finally back on. It was a bit of a pain lining him up, but he's on. Still a little bit too high. There we go. Let's get this back on, and that's one truck basically done. Right, so one truck back and ready to go for 10B. We'll hang him back out of the way. Move some of this out of the way. We'll put our spare parts back in the bag. Right then guys, that'll be it for tonight. We'll be working on the XRT and the X-Max tomorrow night. It'll all be in one video, but just to let you know why we got a gap in a video and I'm wearing something different tomorrow. Right, catch you in a bit. Broken heart, RC,